Welcome back to Undisputed. Tua Tagovailoa's injury history has reportedly created persistent talk of a draft day slide. According to Pro Football Talk, the inability for teams to have their own doctors examine Tua has added to the concern. So, Shannon, in your opinion, how high would you draft Tua?
Number one, I believe he's the best player in this draft. His body of work, his complete body of work. I'm not talking about 1 year. I'm not talking about a good stretch of games. I'm talking about his body of work is impeccable. And I would take him that high. Now, Miami is probably I don't, Skip. First of all, I believe this is red herring. We get this every year, Skip. We get this report that this guy's sliding down and that guy might be sliding. But I believe if he's there at 5, the Miami Dolphins will take him. That's what I do believe. But I love what he brings to the table. His ability to throw the football with accuracy is the number one thing that I look for in a quarterback, not arm strength, because some of the great quarterbacks didn't have the strongest arm. You look at Tom, you look at Peyton, you look at Joe Montana. They did not have cannons. Yes, you like the guy to have elusivity like a Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick. You like the guy to be able to have touch like Drew Brees. You like the guy to have a cannon like John Elway or Patrick Mahomes. But you're not going to get a guy with all that and plus be 6'4". That's not going to happen. But what he has is the ability to anticipate, throw into tight windows, throw guys open that's second to none of anybody in this draft. Joe Burrow had a historic 2019, but in 2016, it was not historic. Now, I need to know why. So with that body of work that I've seen from Tua and this playing in the SEC and doing what he's done over a 2.5-year span, I've seen enough. Tua is the real deal, and somebody's going to be making a big mistake if they don't select this young man. Now, Skip, Detroit's up there. They don't need the Giants. They don't need a quarterback. They have a quarterback. But if the Dolphins pass on him at 5, and it seems that the Bengals are hell-bent on taking Joe Burrow, I got no problem with that, Skip, an Ohio kid. But Tua, if the Miami Dolphins pass on this kid at 5 and take Justin Herbert, what I'm starting to hear that groundswell, they're going to be very, very disappointed.
Shannon, I keep trying to tell you, it's not body of work. It's just his body, period. And I'm going to knock on wood for the young man before I launch again into this. I would have little to no faith if I took him anywhere in the first round that he could stay healthy as a pro football player. You have always told me, hurt in college, hurt in the pros. He wasn't just hurt once or twice. He was repeatedly hurt in college, playing behind what might have been consistently the best offensive line in college football, one that's loaded with top picks. And yet, if I look at the injury history, it's horrifying, and it would be doubly horrifying if, because of our situation that we're in right now as a country, that my team doctor couldn't have a hands-on exam of Tua. And you're a little bit guessing on exactly how fit he is, exactly how much he's recovered from many injuries, because I'm going to cite this again. Rex Ryan on ESPN reported that he was told Tua had 5 surgeries while he was at Alabama. And we know about broken nose and concussion and broken index finger on his throwing hand and pulled quad and hurt knee, and it may have required some kind of a knee scope. Not sure about that one. And then 2 ankle surgeries on both ankles, that tightrope surgery that can be a little dicey. And then finally, hip surgery that was thought to be career-threatening. It's just too many. For me, on top of the fact I'm not nearly as sold on him as a player as you are, and maybe the one reason I'm not as sold, Shannon, is because I think the injuries as they mounted contributed to what I thought were happy feet in some big games. I thought he got antsy and flinchy in the pocket because he was not able to withstand the punishment he was taking. And certainly he's got quick feet. He has some escapability and that sort of ballet feet, and he can get away, but he didn't have a knack for avoiding hits outside the pocket. And when they started to collapse on him inside the pocket, he began to throw it a little too quickly, and he began to throw it a little off target. Georgia got after him in that 2018 SEC championship game, and he went 10 of 25 for 164 yards with 2 picks and a QBR of 29 on a scale 0 to 100. And then he turned right around. Remember, Jalen Hurts saved him in that game when he got yanked, and Jalen Hurts outscored Georgia by himself 14-0 in the fourth quarter. So they got to go to the championship game ultimately, and he threw 2 more interceptions, did Tua with a QBR of 59 in that game. And then against Alabama this past year, against LSU at Tuscaloosa, he went 21 of 40. So it's not exactly a high percentage. I thought he missed a lot of throws, and he's throwing to 4 receivers who are all possible first-round picks. We know 2 of them will be. Devontae Smith surely will be a first-round pick. Jalen Waddle could be a first-round pick. And Najee Harris is coming out of the backfield with high catchability and is going to be a draft choice. So, man, I don't know, Shannon. Are you sure about the performance? I'm not even sure about that. But when you pile on the injury concerns, I'm like, I just don't know if I'd risk a first-round pick on him. Maybe a later first-round pick, I would take a flyer, but it's feeling like he's a candidate, as great a kid as he is, to be that guy stuck in the green room for a long time on Thursday night.
Skip, I think the thing is that I believe it's Miami that's putting this out there. They want to leverage somebody if you want to come up, because we're going to take Tua here. If you want something, if you want to come deal in this spot, we're going to do it. Skip, here's the thing. Yes, he's had surgeries, but I believe those surgeries, he had an ankle injury. Now, if we just let the ankle injury heal, now college season is not like the pro season, Skip. You got 16 games. Well, college season, pro season is 16 games. If you make the playoffs, you move on. Everybody knows that. But a college season is about 12 games. Well, you get hurt, you miss 4 games, Skip. So they tried to speed the process up of him healing that ankle. So they did that. I believe in the process, you compensate, because I believe everything else came off those ankle injuries. He started messing with that knee because of the ankle. He hurt that quad because of the ankle. Now, I can't have definitive proof, but the hips. But Skip, I believe, and he had another tightrope surgery. So I believe every injury outside of the broken finger and the broken nose, everything that was from lower body down came off those ankle injuries. If they would have allowed him proper time to heal, I don't believe they'd have had this problem. But anybody that watched tape think that Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Tua is sadly mistaken. He's in the Pac-12, and he won the Rose Bowl, Skip, with his legs, not with his arms. Tua has been doing this against elite defenses. Everybody keeps saying, well, Tua saved it. Jalen Hurts saved Tua in the SEC championship game. What about Tua coming off the bench in the national championship game and saving Jalen Hurts? Are we not going to talk about that? Joe Burrow had the highest single-season efficiency rating in NCAA history, 202. Tua has the highest career at 199. His career is only 3 percentage points lower than Joe Burrow, who had the greatest one in history. Tua is 3 points lower over a career. So if you take 2018 into account and see what that his percentage and his QBR is, Skip, as great a season as he has, they had the same amount of touchdowns in 2 years, but Tua had fewer interceptions. Let that sink in for just a second. The historically great season that Joe Burrow had, Tua had the same amount of touchdowns with fewer interceptions, and he missed games. Imagine if he didn't miss no games, what it would have been, Skip Bayless. You're going to make a mistake, Miami. You made one mistake, passing on a guy that you thought was hurt, in Drew Brees, and you took another guy in Dante Culpepper. How'd that work out for you? Saints said thank you. Somebody's going to say thank you again if you pass on Tua.
Let this sink in. Tua is 6 feet tall. Joe Burrow is 6'4" tall. Joe Burrow can really take off and run with the football when need be. He can gash defenses and torment pass defenses by taking off and running for first downs at 6'4". He has no injury history. He did get hurt at Ohio State back in his former life, if you will, but at LSU, he did not get hurt. So now I'm with you on this. Justin Herbert, I told you on Undisputed during the year, I watched him 4 or 5 times. No. I've done this on many quarterbacks before. If you watch them in college and they don't show you poise and presence and body language and feel for the game, they're not going to work in pro football. And I don't like his confidence. I don't like just his feel for the passing game, his touch, his accuracy. It's not there. He can wow you occasionally because he's a big, extraordinary athlete, great golfer on top of being a fine thrower of the football with a big arm. But I'm with you, Shannon. No. But yet, if I'm looking at Tua, if I'm an NFL team, I'm only looking at him if I have a second first-round pick and he falls to me. And that would be like if the Raiders pick somebody at 12 and then at 19 they have their second first-round pick. If you want to take Tua there, I'm okay with that. If Jacksonville has got 9 and 20 and you want to take him at 20, I'm okay with that. If the Dolphins passed him at 5, but he was there again at 18 or certainly at 26, yeah, I'll take Tua there. If the Patriots, if he fell to the Patriots at 23, I got you. You'd take him and try that as a developmental project. But I'm just saying the injury history is not going to go away. What's that?
You say developmental. There's nothing that needs to be developed about